G'day guys, it's Jake here. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Please do your own research when it comes to investing. Be sure to check out my links below, including the exchanges I use and social media content that I post. All right, let's go. So the topic for today's video, we're going over Ethereum USD. Okay, just that pair on its own. It's all is plain and simple, good old Ethereum. Not against Bitcoin, not against some other coin, but just against the US dollar pair. And I just want to firstly show you the logarithmic regression bands for ETH, because Bitcoin has its up and down bands, and it's pretty well known, and it's been following this upwards logarithmic channel for quite a long time, and pretty accurate, like up from the tops and the bottoms, touching the tops there, nearly there, and then the bottoms. All right, tops, bottoms, tops, bottoms. And with Ethereum, hasn't got a top band, unfortunately. It does have a bottom one. Okay, and that's where we want to be looking at to see where we can buy ETH. The most important thing is you make money when you buy, not when you sell. Is what good old Warren Buffett, was Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger said that, I think. And one of the two is very, very important. So logarithmic regression bands, we have non-bubble fits, okay, from upper, the top band line, the second band line is non-bubble fit, and then non-bubble lower. So we had it touch the bottom there in 2015. As you can see, the price is there, the middle, and we touched all three bands below $1 there. We got to $1. We came back into it again. Shot up 2016, the halving year, which was the first for ETH as a big rally. It was the first really major run, and then we got to $15 there, and then came back down to these bands again in December 2016. So the top band, $10, 7.5, and 5. As it rose, the price goes up, of course, as it keeps going up, and the price did come down to the bottom band at $7 in 2016 December, then January 2017, and we had the bull run of 2017. Came up in 2018, and the top, and then bam, we had a big bear market. The price did come down to the very top upper band at 111, and then came to the middle band at 81, but did not go to the bottom band like it did back in 2016 and 2015. Okay, and we did have a mid-cycle rally, and then we came back down to the bands again. So the top band was smashed, the middle band was touched here at 160. And then we did touch the bottom band roughly around $120. Okay, so we did hit it there, but not the first time, but we did get it the second time. So this bear period, and then going into the halving year, which is 2020. Okay, starting that year off, we had a rally, and he couldn't break out the top bands, and then we came down and we smashed the second band and the third band down below, lower band. And the price went pretty low. It was like 80 something bucks, I think. It's not showing us on this table here, but it is about 85 or so dollars, or 81. I can't remember exactly the price. The bottom was ETH, but it did go slightly. So it's similar to that price, $82 around that. Okay, came back to that low, and we shot to the race from there. 2021, we had a bull market, so it came up even higher. 4.8K, okay, and then we crashed. The bear market bottoms were around here, around $800, $850, close to 800, but we didn't touch the band, the top band at all. So we went back up a little bit, and then we went down again to come back close, but didn't get quite there. We got to about 1,000, and again didn't touch the top band. So it hasn't revisited these levels, and that one there, and that one there. Haven't been there yet, and you keep going along. 2023, and we had a bit of a rise here, and the top, the local top at 4,007, and we've been going down, and we haven't touched it yet. Okay, so I'm expecting it to come down sometime in probably 2025 or early 2025 to come to should be by 2025, I think, because recession will kick in sooner, and Q4 of this year, and we should see it touch $1,000, okay? The bottom bands, as I'm seeing it happen, because we haven't really gone into these bands at all this bear market cycle, and you get $1,000, which comes down to these lows and touches. Okay, like this one here, come back to these lows. This one here came back to these lows. Okay, so they all revisited the lows, the prior correction, 2016 April, and it came back down in December 2016. So I expect it to come back down to these lows. All right, that's that one. So we have Ethereum USD now, and as you can see, we're at 2,400. Okay, we're sort of wicked down to 2,000-ish, 900, and we're back up above this rising wedge pattern. And so you start at bottom, bear market, you shoot up, you go down, you go up, down. So you trade inside this wedge, and then finally you break out of the wedge. All right. And then I'll just show you on an arrow chart. So you break out of the wedge here. All right. Shoot up, and we come back into the wedge. Right. Come back in eventually. And then we have rate cuts coming in here, which is, I predict, if you look at the CME Fed Watch tool and the probabilities of a Fed rate cuts, it's very, very high and likely in mid-September. So that's why I've got this line drawn here. And it corresponds to this wedge. And price is getting really close to the support line here, which it has done in previous cycle. I'll show you the next one. So we had this wedge, we had a shoot up, and we came back down. Okay, as you can see, at a rising wedge, you go up, down, up, down, up, down, and we finally break it, and we get out of it. Have a top here, and we came back down into the wedge. And what happened? Rate cuts arrived, and then ETH went uh-oh, and then it crashed. Okay, so it crashed down. The important thing to see here is that we didn't come back down to these lows yet. So we came back up, rallied a bit, and then big rate cuts came, and then woof, big sell off the pandemic. And we revisited these lows, not precisely to the bottom, but we did get close. Okay, that's important to know that we didn't get right to the bottom, but we got, within, so it's $90 there. As you can see, the wick, $90. And this went down to $81, so very, very close. So it came back to the lows, essentially. So wedge, okay, price comes up, then breaks through it. I'll draw the arrows again. We break through it there, and we come back down, and then we crash, all right? So same as that one there, all right? Same as that one there, okay? But we haven't crashed yet. And then 2016, it's pretty similar. We didn't have rate cuts. It's a bit different back then. Monetary policy was a bit different. I'll show you on a log scale a bit better. And as you can see, price, if I did that a bit more clearer for you, we consolidated inside this, it's more of a triangle. We can call it a wedge, whatever. And we consolidated and we broke above it. We came back down in it. We didn't close, right? Outside of it, so it closed. We wicked right down. It was massive, and then we wicked back up. And then we eventually came to the very squeezed, okay? Price squeeze, and it smashed down. And we revisited the lows. We came back down to these lows, $7. So, we had this break at this level, right, of the wedge. And then we came back down very quickly. It happened quicker than the other ones. And then eventually we broke and came back down to these lows, okay? It's drawn there. Here, it's happened a bit longer, from 2018 December to July. So it was 7 months roughly. And we rose, broke up and broke down. And then we came back after the cuts to the lows. This one here, we've had consolidation. We broke up and we came back down. We've actually gone into the wedge, but we haven't closed a candle inside it yet until we consolidate and then break down after the rate cuts come. And I see going into 2025, all right, or even a little bit later, it's not going to be exact. My prediction is we'll come back down to $1,000, all right? Pretty soon after the cut, around here-ish, we should see, some consolidation before the cut, and the cut happens. It could really drop sooner than that, all right? You can fix, it could really drop hard. We'll see what happens, but I don't know how it's going to play out, but it could drop even more aggressively than this. Okay. It's a bit wonky, but you get the idea. And it could be by March or, 2025. I don't know. I'm not exact. I don't know. I'm just making a prediction. Going back to previously, as you can see, we came back down to the lows of the bear market, and the halving year we came back. Bear market year, halving year, should come back to it after the cuts. But 2016 was a bit different monetary policy, and it was a halving year, the whole thing, and it came back down. Okay, so that was a pattern that formed and came down. If you look at these two, is more comparable because of the rate cuts. I'll just quickly show you interest rates. And as you can see, rate cut there, the orange cut after it paused. We had a big hiking cycle from 2015. Hiked. That was during the hiking. It was more of a pause rates. And they hiked. And then it sort of bottomed. And then it continued its staircase up. And even after the crash, all right, it still hiked up. And then we went flat. And then they cut. The Fed did. And then price went up before the cut and then went down into the wedge right when the cut happened, right, which we're going to show you very shortly. And then it broke down after the cuts happened. We paused and the price sort of had a bit of relief, and then a big rate cuts happened and then slammed down, revisited the lows. And then I'll show you the decline from the top to the bottom was 75%, okay, from the mid-cycle top to the right down to the pandemic low, and we haven't cut yet. Okay, so I do see eventually we see a rate cut here. How deep it's going to be, I don't know. How aggressive it's going to be, but the more aggressive, the worse it is. Okay, and we should come into it before that, and then it cuts, and then price should go lower if it gets really bad. This recession that's imminent and about to happen. It's only a matter of time, and the percentage from the high to the low is exactly the same at 75%. Show you a bit clearer. 75%, okay, from the top to the bottom. $1,000 is my price prediction for ETH to come back down to these lows. $1,000, and it's top to bottom, mid-cycle. 75% there because of the rate cuts. And this one here was a very similar drop, okay. It was from the top to the bottom. It was 72%. So not as much, but really very close as we formed this wedge pattern and then came back to these lows. Okay, wedge pattern broke out, came down, and then came back to the lows, right? 75% drop after the rate cuts come, after the panic and recession we got here in 2020. And recession this year, going into next year, should cause the same thing to happen. This looks a bit dodgy. Sorry about the drawing, terrible. But you get the idea. Eventually, however this plays out, I don't know. It's wonky, okay? That's what price does. It's up and down like a yo-yo, and eventually should come down to here, all right, to mark a bottom, and that should be it once the rate cuts are over. When the rate cuts were over here, it was flat. We pretty much bottomed out there, okay? And that was it for ETH. So if you do have all the rate cuts and they all finish, and the rate cuts, depending on how much they cut and where it goes to, we don't know. But it shouldn't go back down to zero like it did back here. Like it went down to, see 0.25 on the left-hand side there. I don't see it going that low. The big cuts, if it does, it's going to be a very, very bad recession. If it doesn't, it will probably come down to, see around here, 2.5 to 3, roughly, the cuts will go to, and then before we bottom out and then go higher. So that's what I'm seeing. Regards to that one. It's Ethereum USD, and where I see it going according to this pattern playing out. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Just going over Ethereum, regression channel, and the bands showing we haven't even reached 3 bands yet. So we're due to come back down to the bottom of the regression channel bands. And $1,000 is my prediction towards the end of the year and going into next year. I'm not exact on a date, but yeah, if you're going into next year and it hasn't reached $1,000, I'm not crying over it. It's not financial advice. So I'm not saying sell everything now and we'll get there and then buy it back at a cheaper price. It could go even lower. It could not even touch 1,000. I don't know. I'm just making a prediction based on previous cycles. And we also talked about the price and the wedge patterns 2016 to 2019, and now we're seeing the same thing. And when the Fed cuts rates, should see the price of ETH drop, okay, and head towards $1,000 as the recession kicks in. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like, comment your thoughts below, subscribe to stay updated. Be sure to check out the links below, and I'll catch you next one. Cheers.